What does it mean to be a man today? A century ago, it was about providing for your family. 50 years ago, it was about toughness and emotional control. But today, masculinity has been hijacked by algorithms. Open TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, and you'll see it. Endless clips telling you how to be alpha, how much money you should be making, how ripped you should look. Social media isn't just shaping culture, it's redefining what young men believe it means to be a man. And it's leaving a lot of guys confused, lost, and exhausted. Masculinity, rebranded by the internet. Masculinity used to be passed down by fathers, uncles, mentors. Now it's curated by influencers. Every scroll tells young men, you're either a Sigma grindset warrior or you're a loser. A 2024 Vice feature reported that young men on TikTok spend an average of 95 minutes/day consuming manosphere content, often without even realizing it. The result? Masculinity feels less like identity and more like a brand you're supposed to market. The rise of the alpha economy. Men like Andrew Tate, Dan Bilzerian, or Jim Bro influencers have created a template. Wealth, women, cars, muscles. They present it as the only path to being respected. But here's the dark side. Psychologists in Psych Central note this creates toxic comparison loops, where young men feel inadequate unless they match that exact formula. A college student in the U.S. shared anonymously that he spent $4,000 on a car he couldn't afford just to look alpha on Instagram. He admitted, "It wasn't for me, it was for likes." Masculinity becomes a scoreboard. The more you flex, the more man you are. When strength becomes performance, lifting weights used to be about health or discipline. Now, it's content. Dating used to be about connection. Now, it's proof of status online. Even hobbies become performance. You don't just learn guitar, you need to post it. You don't just travel, you need to document it. We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful what we pretend to be. Kurt Vonnegut. Young men aren't living masculinity. They're performing masculinity. The cost of digital masculinity. The pressure creates burnout and identity confusion. A 2023 APA survey showed Gen Z men report record high stress from not feeling successful enough compared to others online. The irony? While they post to look strong, they're privately dealing with crippling insecurity. Actor Zac Efron admitted his famous Baywatch body was unsustainable and left him feeling miserable. Yet millions of young men still compare themselves to that unattainable image. Masculinity, instead of being empowering, becomes a trap. Redefining masculinity for yourself. The first step, realize masculinity isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's not dictated by likes, abs, or cars. True masculinity is about responsibility, emotional balance, and authenticity. Practical tips. 1. Audit your feed. Unfollow AlphaFlex accounts that drain you. 2. Replace them with creators who model authentic growth. Fitness for health, finance for freedom, relationships for connection. 3. Define your own version of manhood. Write it down. Is it being reliable? Creative? Disciplined? That's yours to own, not the algorithms. Masculinity should be something you embody offline, not just something you post. Gen Z men are being told they're not enough unless they match a digital mold. But masculinity isn't a filter, it's not a highlight reel, and it's definitely not something you buy. True confidence doesn't need to be posted to be real. If you want to reclaim your masculinity, stop performing for the algorithm and start living for yourself. That's the type of manhood that can never be taken away.